I know, I'm late. And I'm not wearing pink. I know. So those are 2 L's right there. But it's okay, because we're finally doing this review. I know this review has been out for a while, but now we're gonna get it done. Hello one, hello all, it is the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Lil Uzi Vert, Pink Tape. Lil Uzi Vert is a Philadelphia rapper, and this is their latest release. And they've honestly been at it for a while now, like almost a decade, if you're including the mixtapes. From the debut mixtape dropping in 2014 and to now. So yeah, legendary status, I would say, should be applied to Lil Uzi, because with Lil Uzi, it certainly brought, even though I've never been a huge fan of Lil Uzi, well, when I started reviewing music critically, that's when I started to realize this is pretty much like smoke and mirrors here. There's bangers, but I feel like I gravitated more towards the image and a few songs, in opposed to actually sit down to listen to the mixtape and the album, because I realized that a lot of the older stuff really painted itself into a corner really fast. And you realize, yes, there's psychedelic elements there, but not really much in terms of originality or focus or crafting a compelling album or mixtape. But I am seeing improvement slowly but surely. I didn't love the last EP. I felt production was definitely there. I felt there was focus within the writing. And also vocally, Uzi has also improved as well. Now with this one, I would say there are enjoyable tracks on here, but I will say that the middle part, or the middle leg, is pretty underwhelming, but we will get into that. But let's get into the highlights, because there are highlights on here. And the intro definitely starts off with a bang, and Suicide Doors, which is probably the best rage rap song that I've heard in a while. With these murky keys, sinister distorted guitars, Uzi is like growling on here like a vampire in a way, like it's almost black metal in a way, but shoegazy, psychedelic. It's insane. And also, I'm digging the energy on here. I'm digging the energetic chanted vocals on here. And you could say that this is kind of like Cardi in a way. You could say that this is kind of like A Whole Lot of Red, but I would say A Whole Lot of Pink does this better than A Whole Lot of Red. I'm just saying. Because I feel there's more energy here, there's more character here. And it's hard to say, because yes, this is coming from Playboy Cardi, but I feel it's Cardi done well. It may be better than Cardi, which is a controversial take, I know, but I'm all about controversy, so there's no surprise there. And I love the headbang grooves here. I love the absurd vocals that are filled in within the verses. It's definitely a lot of oddity here, a lot of psychedelic oddity, and I do love it. The song Crush 'Em has these alluring, weepy strings on here, and I love how the hook gets more progressively aggressive as it goes on. Crush, 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 crush. With these obscure bassy vocals just like floating through the track. It sounds like the ghost of Yeet, but Yeet's still alive. And then going into this heavy ambient bass change up on the back end. And I love moments on here where Uzi takes their vocals and uses them as some sort of an instrument to fill in the production, like on the track Amped. With these repetitious whistles, these chipmunked auto-tune arpeggios, and moans and muffled distorted vocals. Yes, that is on here. And the speedy, deep refrain and absolutely bizarre vocal inflections on here. It's very Yeety, it's very Cardi, but again, I feel it's done well, and Uzi is actually adding more to it than opposed to just making a Yeet song or making a Cardi song. They are using the effects and bringing them to new heights here, in my opinion. And I love how devilish and fiery the guitars are on here. And also, again, like Uzi is coming through with a lot of vocal variations on here. Like, they're really bringing versatility to these elements. Like on the song X2, that has this rapid, bubbly set of keys with these ascending synth chords coming in. And I love the melodic, muffled vocals underneath. And where it goes into like these nasally shouted vocals to like these baritone vocals. Like, they're definitely switching it up here. Now, unfortunately, this is the spot on the album where it does dip in quality a lot. The production's pretty weak, the hooks are pretty lackluster, the songs really come off half-baked, with half-baked hooks like rigatoni's not spaghetti. And it's like, thanks Uzi, thanks for that enlightening observation there. The song Fire has this very repetitious, very obnoxious, high-pitched vocals, and the production just sounds really thin on this one. But the biggest dud on here, and no, it's not the god-awful rendition of Chop Suey, which we will get into. No, it's a horrendous interpolation of the classic song, Blue Daba Dee. And Nicki is saying in like these baby whispery vocals, I got a Republican doctor, make my ass great again, MAGA, can we not? And I feel like on paper this track could have been good because it does have some sort of conceptual direction. The only problem is you got this god-awful sample and you have this god-awful hook that just derails any type of enjoyment I would have had for this. Like, can we please leave these classics alone? Or if you're gonna go into this, bring something new to the table. Because not only does it happen on this song here, like Gautier's Somebody I Used to Know on Mama I'm Sorry. Yeah, I'm not your mama, but I accept your apology. But that's not to say that all samples on here are used distastefully. They're not. I do love the song Nakamura, which is probably the most anthemic, most powerful track on here, with these epic grand strings, soaring triumphant vocals that could just like fill up a stadium, sampling the theme song of the wrestler Shinsei Nakamura. Like, it just sounds Uzi's just entering the arena ready for battle. Another great sample on here that's done justice is the absolute banger and classic from legendary electronic duo Justice off their fantastic Cross album, which you should check out, with the song Fire Alarm, which is an absolute banger. Snow Strippers lend a hand in this one, absolutely killing it, with these ringing synth horns and bass, with this fire alarm refrain, fire alarm. Like, it's a banger on here. This should be a single. It just sounds like demons are just flying around and soaring through, just wreaking havoc and just setting the streets on fire here. Also, I want to point out too how the vocal effects on Uzi's voice, the way they're pitched down and sound really devilish, really complement the searing and burning production here. Definitely well done. No pun intended. With these erratic strings, pumping bass, it's insane. It's definitely a highlight on the album. Probably maybe my second favorite track on here. Unfortunately, I Wanna Rock, which was the leading single of this album, still doesn't hit hard for me. It honestly just sounds like an interlude with a hook on it, and not a very exciting one either. And then we got CS, which is short for Chop Suey, which is pretty much what you would get if you got Toxicity off Wish, or better yet, LimeWire. It sounds like a bad parody in opposed to a cover, if I'm being honest here. The vocals are so goofy, the production sounds so fake and compressed, absolutely soulless, the drums sound so thin, and the pianos are just like smothered on here. Like, it just sounds so out of practice. We do have a strong back end though. I do enjoy the song Pluto to Mars, which is a nice spacey pop cut with these syncopated synth horns, these weeping keys, and pumping synth chords. And the song Patience, which is a woozy, hypnotic ballad, if you will, featuring Don Toliver on here, sounding very reverby, but yet very passionate as well, with these bellowing vocals in the background, with these bright, blazing synths. It's very beautiful, it's very atmospheric, and it's definitely a highlight on here. Days Come and Go, which honestly rivals Rehab in terms of the most confessional on here. Like, these tracks do say a lot, but it's really hard to tell which one is more personal. Maybe Rehab, but Days Come and Go has a very cute, very endearing hook. Days come and go. And The strings are just so grand and beautiful, and Uzi is really touching on things that they find personal. Like they're really venting here when it comes to mental health, when it comes to insecurities. And the song Rehab, which is very confessional, very endearing track on here, which I feel should have ended here because it's very cute and they're just expressing their utmost gratitude for helping them in that situation. So yeah, very adoring, very heartwarming track. And honestly, the last track is pretty much bonus tracks, but they have this track with Baby Metal, which honestly is kind of mid. It definitely doesn't scream finality. Maybe if it was placed in the middle here, that would have been better, but it definitely doesn't read to me as a final track here. So yeah, overall, I thought this album was pretty good, not great. I'm definitely seeing improvements from Uzi. I'm definitely feeling improvements when it comes to hooks, even when it comes to adding elements too. I think I just need stronger hooks consistently and more consistency. But yeah, vocally, I think they're getting more creative. I think production-wise, they are too. I'm feeling a 3 out of 5 on this. If you've given this album a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And that's it. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, Uzi, Pink Tape, till we meet again.